Welcome to the process. It is Friday, April 16th. I am a tired Josh Engleman, and I am excited to break down the final NBA slate of the work week. Excited to see everybody here. Lots and lots and lots of coffee cups in the chat right now. And wood piece, I don't know what that is. That just tea? I don't know what that is, but I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see everybody here. We got a good crowd kicking off this Friday. Hope everybody was able to find some success yesterday. I know nothing that happened on the slate. As I mentioned yesterday, I wasn't going to be around for lock. I did not play the slate, but I am playing this one because that night off giving me the shakes a little bit. So we got to get into this. So thank you for being here. We've got 10 games, so we've got 20 teams to break down. Oh, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Had a good dinner last night. It was fun. Ate some fried chicken, mac and cheese, had some decent wine, some gnocchi or gnocchi, in the ballpark of gnocchi, that's for sure. I had some incredible birthday cake too. Whew. Good stuff. It was a good time. Everything was good. Everything was really good. Really good night. Good laughs, good conversation, good times. And now I'm ready to get back into this. We've got contenders videos coming out after this. Strategy show coming up at 10 o'clock with Laffy. No live before lock for me, but I am playing the slate, so it'll be nice to get back to it. I wish this was like an 8-gamer. I was tweeting last night at 10 p.m. Mostly just at Laffy. But that was winding down after I got home. I needed to take a couple minutes before I just laid down in my bed. But a little tired today. The sleep app off my watch was not kind to me. Didn't look like I got a very good night's sleep last night. I woke up. So my alarm is set for 5:15 a.m. And I woke up. I was feeling real comfortable. Bed was perfect temperature. Just blankets were in the right spot. I was feeling great. And then I looked at my watch like, all right, how much time do we got? It's 5:14. So I had less than a minute. I literally laughed in bed. Just, it couldn't have been a more ridiculous time. I desperately wanted to see, 1 a.m., something along those lines, 2 o'clock, take whatever I can get. Nah, 45 seconds before the alarm was set to go off. So we're up. It's time for about that time where we do this. So I took a mini sip. I'm not going to lie. I got there before you guys. I had to. I desperately needed it in my life. So grab your coffees. I've had quite a bit of water at this point. We've got tea in here right now. Whatever you're drinking, whatever you're doing to start off your day, enjoy it. Rise and grind, everybody. Good morning. Let's get started. Oh, there we go. Let's get into it. Bang. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And before I actually do get started, don't be afraid. Please hit that like button. That one helps me out personally a ton. I love seeing that number climb. Subscribe to the channel. That one is the one that helps out Awesemo.com. More subs equals more content. Hit the notification bell so you don't want to ever miss this stuff. This could be your morning alarm clock, me going live. And then shout out to Monkey Knife Fight. 100% instant deposit match bonus up to $50 using the promo code Awesemo. Matthew, they haven't gone anywhere. I just didn't play the last two slates. They'll be up tonight. I had plans Wednesday night and Thursday night, so I just wasn't around. I was live Wednesday. You could just tune in. Wednesdays are generally tough just because normally I'm on live before lock. We get a ton of news. And if I'm getting news from like 5:30 to 6, I can't get that tweet out because I can't get it updated fast enough and then get on the show. So normally it's just a time to chat it up there. Gerald, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Let's get started. All right, Brooklyn Nets. Where's my screen? There we go. All right, Brooklyn Nets. Bang. No Harden, Durant in, Blake in. Obviously, let's take a second here. Pour one out for LaMarcus Aldridge. Had to retire yesterday, for those of you that don't know, for those of you that missed it. LaMarcus Aldridge retired yesterday due to a heart condition. He noticed an irregular heartbeat. It's a heart condition he has been aware of for a pretty extended amount of time at this point. But goodbye to a really nice career. It was I didn't know what I thought of him coming out. That was a time where I was following college basketball pretty aggressively. Actually thought that he was going to end up slightly undersized. It ended up working out quite well for him. But it's just sad to see him, after making a move over to Brooklyn and looking a little bit healthier. Just got to shut it down. So best of luck to you, LaMarcus Aldridge. Cheers to that one. Okay, so back to Brooklyn. We know we got to get Durant in here, and we know we don't have him in there yet, so we got to gut this. Alrighty, so Brooklyn hosting Charlotte. Pretty big favorites, too. So we'll get Kyrie. So basically everybody is in that we would expect to be in, and that's good information. So we'll get Kyrie Irving, 33 minutes, I think. Is DeAndre Jordan just going to be playing again? Is that what we're thinking here? Because that seems less likely, but I guess it is, right? I'm going to go ahead and give 25 minutes to DeAndre Jordan. Maybe 20 minutes, 21 minutes to Nick Claxton. A little bit more of like the Jeff Green stretchy minutes. But before I do any of that, I got to give Kevin Durant minutes. And he played 27 minutes on the 13th. I'm going to say 30 minutes is his limit. And then we're going to have to see a little bit of Jeff Green. Yeah, drafted by the Bulls and traded to Portland, which was a really interesting trade at the time for the Bulls. All right. Jeff Green. Let's fill out the rest of the guards. I don't have a good feel for this Nets team yet. Backup point guard minutes. Okay. Plus, I still got to give Blake minutes. Yeah, this is about to get really complicated at the 4-5 for Brooklyn. Because they have to go back to DeAndre Jordan not playing, right? I guess they don't. DeAndre Jordan fully left the rotation for only LaMarcus Aldridge, so maybe not. The question then becomes, because right before they got Aldridge, DeAndre Jordan was down to 12 minutes a game. Robert, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Congratulations. Man, I really, really, really don't have a good feel for this big man rotation here. I don't think that DeAndre Jordan's going to be able to get a ton of minutes. And I think Nick Claxton is actually going to get even less than what I was expecting. Blake had been playing all over the place, so I think 16 might really be legitimate. So I think we're going to have to do something that looks like that. 28 for Joe Harris. Landry Shamet. 26. We'll have to talk through this a little bit. I'm not I think we're just going to see that most of Brooklyn isn't viable. That is my expectation. What's the sleeping app I use? I use an app called Auto Sleep, and that goes along with my Apple Watch. All right, TLC. It's 22 minutes. It's a 10-man rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, they've been running a 9-man rotation for a while now. Will they run? But I don't think that they have enough bodies if everybody is healthy like this. So who can I give more minutes to? I guess Bruce Brown can certainly get more. I'm fine with Durant. I'm fine with Kyrie. I don't really have many additional minutes that I can give to the Blakes and Nick Claxtons of the world. But I guess I need to. Brooklyn's really difficult to project right now, and I'm probably spending more time on it than I should because they're not even going to be viable. But we shall see. I think that we can keep this mostly together. Everybody else can stay the same. Let's refresh the schedule. And now let's wake it up. Here we go. We definitely want to put Brooklyn to bed here as fast as possible. And there's not much here, honestly. Kyrie is 9,700 on FanDuel, 9,900 on DraftKings. That's not really possible to get to. Landry Shamet's not good, but he's the flat minimum on FanDuel. At the very least, we'll need to have that discussion as a potential value play. But I don't really see anything here. I'm not all that worried about getting anybody from Brooklyn. Nets are 13.5-point favorites against Charlotte. And we're talking about a team where Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are going to dominate in usage. Durant's 9,300 and 9,400. You're not going to be able to take him with limited minutes upside because you'll need him to go for, like 1.9. Like, he could do it, but this is not a spot. So let's get out of Brooklyn so that I can actually move on to a team that we want. And this one will be interesting. Chicago Bulls. Now, Chicago Bulls sans Zach LaVine for the next 14 days at a minimum. Who knows how he feels when he comes back from that, because Zach LaVine has COVID. So we're going to have to reimagine what this Chicago Bulls team looks like with no Zach LaVine. It's been a while since Zach LaVine's out. We've only seen him miss one game since Nikola Vucevic got to the team. That game was also missed by Kobe White, so that will throw things off. I think we see Kobe White and Tomas Satoransky get the dueling start for this spot. It's really the only thing that would make a ton of sense to me. So Satoransky obviously just going to continue starting and playing is my assumption. 1, 2, 3. So we got to get a 10-man rotation going. Vooch is obviously going to have a little bit of an increased offensive load. I think Lauri Markkanen is going to see some more minutes now just because Patrick Williams and Thad Young are not going to be able to bring enough offense now that Zach LaVine is not on the floor. So I think that Markkanen is going to see the floor a bit more in this scenario. So we'll go something like that. And then I really don't know how many minutes to give Kobe White. If he's... I'm going to give him 28. I think that's legitimate. I really do. Tice is pretty well set into this 27-minute-a-game range. I'm going to keep that up. Let's see. So I think we see Markkanen pick up a little bit more run. Just because they're going to need offensive creation. That leaves me a little bit more or a little bit less run for Thad. And then Patrick Williams, last 4 games, 28, 27, 26, 26. So we're going to go 28. 3 more guys to go. Denzel Valentine, Garrett Temple, and Troy Brown will make up 46 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if Garrett Temple was the guy that picked up the bulk of that time, but I don't think it really matters. Could also be Troy Brown. No way to know. I can't even imagine that Vooch has played all that much time with Zach LaVine off the floor. So this is going to be a pretty tricky Chicago team against Memphis. 94 viewers, 46 likes. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up if you can, people. Helps me out a ton. I always say. All right, let's take LaVine off. Let's see what this team looks like. Because obviously usage gets dramatically redistributed across this Bulls team with no Zach LaVine on the floor. Also got to take Wendell Carter Jr. off, I guess. And that is going to be the piece that really nerfs this down to no minutes whatsoever. All right, let's see what we've got. Kobe White, 318 minutes in this scenario, 24% usage rate. Vooch has played 106 minutes without Zach LaVine, 27% usage rate, so even smaller than I was expecting. I don't get the sense that I'm going to be moving any of these rates around. Thad Aransky take a big bump? No. Thad Young? No. Markkanen? No. All right, does anybody get an assist bump? Not really. All right, I think we're good with the Bulls. A little surprising. Taking on Memphis. But Kobe White is 3,800 on FanDuel and 5K on DraftKings. So it should go as no surprise. Kobe White looks like the best option from the Bulls on FanDuel right now. I think Daniel Tice is probably a close second at 4K, which I don't love, but that'll be fine. Upside's kind of limited. I am going to take a minute away from him. Yeah, Cantor, so did I. A little surprised. It just stays really, really flat. Kobe White, Daniel Tice, Satoransky, Vooch, Markkanen. I mean, these guys are all like super playable on FanDuel. The prices are really nice. Markkanen 3,700 if he gets any additional run. Vooch is 9K on FanDuel. Like to me, that is a very appealing price tag. There's a lot to like for Chicago. And I assume, assuming Kobe White gets the start, 3,800 is a really nice price. 5K on DraftKings, though, it's fine, but you're going to need him to start. Tice for 3,700, I think, is still a nice value on DraftKings. Markkanen and Vooch are both in play. Patrick Williams and Satoransky are just right on the edge. Satoransky is $1,000 cheaper on FanDuel. This entire Bulls team is much more playable on FanDuel than DK. Moral of the story. Charlotte Hornets. They are taking on the team we broke down first, the Brooklyn Nets. And we've got no Devontae Graham now. Obviously, no Gordon Hayward or LaMelo Ball or Malik Monk. PJ Washington is doubtful. Brad Wanamaker is questionable. Good God, what is happening in Charlotte right now? These guys are snake bit. This is the Terry Rozier show tonight, baby. Wow. What happens if Brad Wanamaker doesn't play? What do we do there? Because this is nuts. This is truly nuts. Hold on. Biyombo, Zeller. They play McDaniels at the 5 for a little bit? Must have. All right, I'm fine with those minutes for Biyombo and for Zeller. I'm fine with the minutes for Bridges. I'm now fine with the minutes for Terry Rozier. But this is a team that does not have the bodies to really withstand. I mean, they are missing. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they've got 10 guys, but 4 of them are centers. That's if. I mean, none of them are point guards. They don't have a legitimate point guard on this roster outside of Brad Wanamaker. If he doesn't play, that's kind of tricky. So let's do something like that. That leaves me. We'll take out the Martin minutes. So that's 6. Who did they have playing as of late? Like, did anybody see the rotation that you wouldn't expect? No. Well, it's going to have to happen now. So Caleb Martin is going to be playing in the 30s. That just has to happen. Cody Martin, I think, is going to have to play, call it 20 minutes. That does leave me 7 minutes for someone. Grant Riller. I think that's who I have to give these minutes to. I assume Terry Rozier just gets all of the usage, and I assume that we don't have a real sample size to look at. That's my guess. Because I have to take off Graham, Ball, Hayward, Monk, Washington. They even played a minute with all 5 of those guys off the floor? Yeah, there we go. 67 minutes or something like that. Terry Rozier is in the 30s in usage. I can't go all the way that high, but at the same time, like, he's getting that bump. So let's take him to 28. I think that should be pretty safe right now. Only other person that's getting a bunch of usage in that scenario has been Brad Wanamaker. That I'm not doing. So I'm going to let the rest of this just hash itself out, except for guys that don't actually see the bump. So Bridges does see the bump. That's fine. Jalen McDaniels does see the bump. That's fine. Cody Zeller hadn't seen it. Don't want to go that direction. Caleb Martin also sees it, but like Bismack Biyombo, I'm going to keep at his normal rates. Let's see what we get for Charlotte. All right, Cantor, I'll bump up. I'll go 29 just to see. Well, Caleb Martin for 3,500 on FanDuel and 3,600 is certainly going to be the number one play from Charlotte. I don't know how else to do it. If he's playing 32 minutes, that just has to be the case. I mean, I guess I can be a little bit more pessimistic and take 2 minutes from him and just go 30 and give his brother another 2. Terry Rozier, though, looks great at 7K on FanDuel. I mean, he is basically equal to Caleb Martin. Terry Rozier for 8,100 on DraftKings still looks really good. It's just not as good as the 7K price tag, but I'm going to have a lot of Terry Rozier. Jalen McDaniels also looking pretty nice on both sites. Martin, McDaniels, and Rozier are the 3 main pieces that you'll want to get to here. I guess we could start grabbing these. So that'll be Brooklyn, Chicago, Charlotte, and Brooklyn, Chicago, Charlotte. So quick summary after 3 teams. Take that back down to 95. Bang. So Terry Rozier, Caleb Martin, top 2 plays on FanDuel so far. Kobe White would be 3rd. Jalen McDaniels 4. Jalen McDaniels and Caleb Martin are 1 and 2 on DraftKings. Rozier a little bit further down the list. Good stuff. 108 viewers, 64 likes. Slowly climbing. Things are good. On to the Dallas Mavericks. Mavs are hosting the New York Knicks. We know not a great DFS game. We'll see how this looks. Should be the same rotation we had. They don't have any real injuries. They are, it appears, sticking with Dwight Powell over Willie Cauley-Stein, at least so far. I don't have anything that I need to change here. This is just standard Dallas rates. So, Mavs, Knicks. Luka at the top of the heap. I think that's a reasonable projection. He is a baseline 1.49 guy. He's been at 1.39 over the past 30 days. Based on this matchup, I have him at 1.44. I can't complain there. So Luka is the clear top option from Dallas. Maybe a little bit of Maxey, maybe a little bit of Porzingis, but I don't really like much else from Dallas. I'm not worried about any Porzingis revenge narratives again either. On to Denver. Obviously, we know no Jamal Murray. Yuck. Shaq Harrison is available for Denver. I don't know if he's going to start playing or not. He's Shaquille Harrison, isn't he? Yeah, let me grab him. No, I don't want Harrison Barnes. That was so stupid of me. Could have just typed Shaq and been done with it. All right, Shaq Harrison in Denver. All right, doesn't even matter. Not going to play anyway. All right, so most of this rotation should be fine, other than figuring out the Campazzo Morris minutes, which were 26 and 26. Pretty much exactly what I was expecting. I'm going to take one more minute and give it to Monty Morris so I can go 27-26, because I do think Campazzo is the one that will be more likely to get a little additional run, even though Morris has been fantastic. But I am not touching anything here. This should be spot on. Actually, Dozier got the biggest bump. Take him up to 23. But for Denver, and again, the Nuggets are on the road against Houston, 8.5-point favorites. Do I have Nikola Jokic just projected out the wazoo here? I gotta look at these rates again just to make sure that I'm right. Because if I'm right, Nikola Jokic is freaking out. AirPods or AirPods Pro. I really like the Pros, but I like the feeling of having an earbud like in my ear hole. That was sort of like the opposite feeling from Laffy, if I remember correctly. I think that they're both fantastic. Like, I would rather have either one of them over just about any other headphone product that I've ever used. But I actually like having the bud like legit in my ear. All right, so again, no Gary Harris, no Jamal Murray on the floor for the Denver Nuggets. I guess I'll take Hampton off too, just for poops and ha-has. Jokic, 34% usage, 15% assist rate. Rebounding rate goes down a little bit. I will give him that haircut. But I think that we're going to be projecting Jokic pretty aggressively here. PJ Dozier's usage rate, we're going to keep pretty normal. Everything else here should be fine. So let's do something like that, and let's look at Denver. Yeah, it's Jokic season. Jokic is my absolute preferred pay-up option. 11K on FanDuel, 10-9 on DraftKings. If he wants this game, it is his for the taking. I don't really see a scenario where I can go to someone other than Jokic here. Pace up spot. I'm locked and loaded on Nikola Jokic. Yeah, it just has to be. He's just gonna get too many assists. I assume he's now at the top of this heap by a mile over Luka. Look at this, guys. Ready? Yeah. Jokic is almost 3 points clear of everybody else on FanDuel. He's 4 points clear of everybody else on DraftKings. I might be over projecting him. I don't know. The rates look normal, and I don't expect him to be a different person out there. So lock and load Nikola Jokic today. And lock and load Michael Porter Jr. as far as I'm concerned. 7,400 on FanDuel, 7,400 on DraftKings. He's been a 1.09 fantasy point per minute guy with Murray, Harris, and Hampton off the floor. I only have him at 1.12. That's 300th of a point, but like it's a different role. So I think Porter is just super cheap there, just given what he's expected to do, especially in this matchup. A lot of extra possessions to go around. I think Barton's fine. Aaron Gordon's fine. Brandon, nice. I really like it. I look at it every day. All right, Detroit Pistons. What do we got going on here? No DSJ, no Jeremy Grant, no Mason Plumlee, no Corey Joseph, no Wayne Ellington, no Rodney Magruder, nobody left. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so they got 11. Servetus doesn't count because he's a fake NBA player. He doesn't really count as being a legitimate person. So starting point guard is going to be Saben Lee, right? That's the only thing that really makes sense to me. Oh boy. Starting center at least is the most obvious piece here, and that'll be Isaiah Stewart. That is incredibly helpful. Detroit taking on Oklahoma City too, so like this is a real game. So we'll give him 31. Backup center is Cook. No, wrong team. Now Cook and Jaleel. God, if they start Jaleel Okafor, be a crime against humanity. Oh, yeah, it's not a back-to-back, so Hayes is probably starting too. I'm going to pull Saben Lee's minutes and build back to front. Jaleel Okafor probably getting the backup center run there, which is gross to think about. So how many minutes can Killian Hayes play? Played 25. That's about his ceiling right now, right? I'm not going to give him more than 26 right now. I'll give Saben Lee those backup 22. We'll say that Frank Jackson plays 22. We'll say that Hamidou Diallo, I don't even know. I guess Seku's going to have to play a bunch. Tyler Cook is going to have to play at least a little bit. What a team. Yeah, this is the tankiest tank that ever tanked, man. Whoof. Sadiq Bey will just fall into a ton of minutes. We'll give 14 to Tyler Cook. Means I have 50 minutes left for Josh Jackson and Hamidou Diallo. So let's do something like this. We'll give Josh Jackson those 24 plus another 4, 22 to Diallo, and that should cover me. Now let's take off everybody that has a pulse normally from this team and find out who usually falls into usage. John, any 10-game slate is going to be stars and scrubs. It just sort of has to be. Doesn't have to be like all of your lineup construction, but it's always going to naturally be that because you're going to get enough value. Yeah, Andre said, I saw that Stephen A. Smith rant. I completely disagree with him. I don't blame any of the players for doing this. All right, so let's take off Grant. Why not on the Pistons? Guess we're not loaded yet. Isaiah Stewart, at least on FanDuel, is looking like the guy that's going to get the biggest benefit here, but we shall see. No, my internet's good. This might just be add more funds. I'm losing Wowie here. There we go. We back? There we go. We're back. Grant off. Plum Dog off. It's probably everybody that I need to like legitimately take off, right? Because those are the guys that are going to dictate usage the most, and nobody soaks it up, which is crazy. I guess we could take Corey Joseph off because he had been. Appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the kind words in chat right now. Sorry, Detroit's really confusing me, and this one makes a lot of this one's pretty important. Yes, and like Josh Jackson, I guess, is the guy that gets the biggest bump, but it's not all that crazy, and no one else really gets it either. I'm afraid to move forward with this team. Yeah, Josh Jackson appears to be the guy that's going to get the biggest benefit here. I don't think that I have any other additional rates to change, so let's just look at this for right now. All right, Detroit Pistons against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not DEZT, that's not an acronym. All right, so Isaiah Stewart is 4,800 on FanDuel, 4,400 on DraftKings. He is just absolutely in play. Great value. Sadiq Bey, 4,800 on DK. Looks like a really nice value. Saban Lee is the flat minimum on FanDuel, 3,100 on DraftKings. You at least have to look at him a little bit. Same sort of story. Like Josh Jackson's okay at 5,500 on FanDuel and 5,300 on DK. Ultimately, you're looking at a lot of Pistons because there's no other choice. I'd say there are 6 legitimate options from the Pistons on FanDuel, with Stewart, Lee, and Bey being the 3 best options. And then on DK, I think you can conceivably roster 9 guys. Just craziness. Absolute, utter craziness for Detroit. Barely a team. So Isaiah Stewart is in that Rozier, Caleb Martin, Michael, like that is a tier right there on FanDuel. And that is a tier right there on DraftKings. I don't have a ton of interest in Killian Hayes because I don't think he's very good yet. But he's obviously going to be in play. I just don't know how many minutes he can play. I don't know what they want to do. I don't really trust this Pistons team at all. But we're going to have to know a lot about them moving forward. All right, guys. 136 viewers, 76 likes. I appreciate you guys a lot, but we're starting to get into a pretty not awesome ratio. So if you guys can, if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, if you can, that would help me out a ton. I'd like to run that number north of 100. All right, on to the Houston Rockets. Is this one going to be a little bit easier? Do they just got normal stuff going on? House out, Gordon out, Brown out, Nwaba, Augustine, Exum. Okay, so this is just the fully normal rotation from the last game, which is incredibly helpful, oddly enough. Ooh, it's not about developing him, man. He had like a real rough hip issue. They have no incentive to run him into the ground right now. I mean, I think that I'm just mostly keeping this rotation the same. I have Porter at 35 minutes, Wall at 36 minutes, Christian Wood at 34 minutes. I mean, maybe I have to give Kelly Olynyk an extra minute. That all seems about right, though. No rates to change. We know Houston's in a not great spot, but I like Wall on both sites, 8,100 and 8,200. I'll be doing that. Christian Wood, 7,800 and 8,300. I'll be doing that more so on FanDuel. And Kevin Porter Jr., 6,600 and 6,800. Those are the 3 guys you're looking for from Houston. Kelly Olynyk to me is just a little bit too expensive. I'm really liking these teams where we don't have to project out any minutes. Sorry to hear that, Jim. Didn't really see any results for last night. All right, Clippers. Who the hell's playing for the Clippers today? All right. Pat Bev out. Paul George in. Kawhi questionable. Marcus Morris probable. Ibaka still out. Right. Anyway, so we're just going to assume that everybody is in that could be in. So no Bev, no Ibaka. Which means we're going to go Reggie Jackson, Rondo, Terrence Mann, then Zubac. All right, so this is against Philly. You would think this would be a bigger Zubac game just because they don't have a lot of bodies to throw at Embiid like that. I give him 28 minutes. I don't think that they use Cousins against Embiid, or Embiid will just absolutely brutalize him. That would be a bad spot. I don't really know what other alternative they have, so I'm going to say Pat gets 16. They go small with Morris for a little bit. Batum gets 2 more. 35 for Kawhi. 35 for Paul George. Who gets the haircut? I mean, I just assume that Terrence Mann plays his normal sort of run. All right, 11, 24. And then 6 for Kennard. Done. I don't get the sense we're going to be liking all that much here. I probably don't even need to change the rates that I'm about to change, but I think that'll probably just be good. These guys look terrible. It's Clippers. It's Sixers. It's a defensive matchup for sure. Clippers prices are already a bit up. We're not seeing anybody really making their way into the positive section. So that at least is a cutoff of saying like nobody you want to go nuts on. So we can go ahead and move quickly through the Clippers. On to Memphis. I need more coffee. Art by Rojas. Apologies, I didn't see that super chat. It almost slipped by. Happily ready to have you here. I don't know what I just did. I think I glitched out. I think that my CD just skipped. I couldn't stop saying the word happily. I even knew it in my head. I couldn't break free from it. So Art by Rojas. I think what I was trying to say is thank you. That's it. But I'm underslept. I'm running on Laffy type sleep right now. I got just north of 6 hours. I had a cocktail or two last night. But yeah. I think I glitched out, man. I think the computer was I needed to reboot the brain, or the CD was skipping. Whatever it wasn't great. I do need to put ceiling fan on though. It's getting a little warm in here. On to the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah, I'm running on News God sleep. Jaren Jackson, Justice Winslow, D'Anthony Melton, all out. Q tag on Brandon Clark. Did you see they have coffee and Coke mixed together now? I didn't. It was a glitch in the Matrix. Not much to change here for Memphis unless Brandon Clark ends up getting ruled out. But we kind of know what we're getting here from the Grizz at this point. Not enough Xavier Tillman, as far as I'm concerned. All right, we're at 4 straight games with Joval playing 30 minutes, but I just don't trust it. I'm not a soda drinker to begin with, so that's not something that I would normally see. I can't imagine we have anything here for Memphis outside of the U's. Yeah. $6,900 John Morant, $7,100 John Morant. That's the only place that I want to be. And even then, I am likely way higher on John Morant than most. But he's playing bigger minutes now. And against Chicago, oddly enough, it's a more difficult defensive matchup for John Morant now that Zach LaVine is gone. But I don't have a ton of interest in this team. right, how many? What do we got left here? All right, we're starting to work our way down to the bottom of the list, even though we've been going for 45 minutes. Miami Heat. Do we know if Dragic is in? No Oladipo. Dragic in. Iggy questionable. Gabe Vincent probable. So that will nerf Kendrick Nunn's minutes. We'll get Dragic back up to 25 or 26. We'll go 22 there. Okay. Iggy's back down into like the 19-minute a game range. Trevor Ariza slightly higher. Surprised we're not seeing Bielitsa more. Morning, Dave. All right, rates should all basically be the same. Miami is on the road against Minnesota, so I actually do want to pay a little bit closer of attention to this. I think it's relevant. Feels like I have Jimmy Butler a little over projected, but at the same time, 9,200 on both sides for Butler. Hasn't been playing great as of late. I need to pull the updated Miami rates. Because Butler is back down to 1.2 fantasy points per minute over the last 30 days. Now I want to make sure we're not missing anything here. So let's take Oladipo off, even though he didn't play all that much for this team. We'll take Leonard off. We'll take Kelly Olynyk off, which I think is actually... It's oddly important, I think, that Kelly Olynyk isn't on this team anymore because, look, I'm not trying to get into a Jimmy Butler debate, but he can't shoot. And that's important for floor spacing. And they didn't really fix that floor spacing problem because they're not playing Nemanja Bjelica. So that is something to think about. So I just want to make sure that Jimmy Butler doesn't have slightly lower rates now that Kelly Olynyk isn't on the floor. Because you don't normally think about him that trickle down that same way. But I think that it matters a little bit. And we hit 100 likes, so thank you guys. Yeah, I don't mean this as a slight against Jimmy Butler. He is a fantastic offensive player, but he's a garbage three-point shooter. Is that a real question? News God? All right, so Butler in these scenarios, 27% usage, that's fine. Okay, so the assist rate has just become a lot lower. Okay. Just checking. I was going to say, like, yeah, he's a really bad shooter. Now I just have to look and see where he's at for the year. He is... Oh, my God, that is atrocious. 24% from three this year, 25% last year. That is miserable. That is truly miserable. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Thank God he gets to the line. Because that is saving him, man. Oof. Shocking. Shocking. All right, let's see now what we've got for Miami. So actually, Bam, 7,900 on FanDuel and 8,400 on DraftKings. Probably my favorite overall play here. I still like Jimmy Butler, but I think that he's come down to earth just a little bit here. But it's a really nice matchup against Minnesota, and obviously he will like this matchup. Tyler Hero would be my third guy here. 4,900 on FanDuel, 5,300 on DraftKings. Let's add a couple more teams back into this. Houston, Clippers, Memphis, and Miami. We'll sum up everything we have so far. Houston, Clippers, Memphis, Miami. So yeah, we still got Jokic at the top of the heap. Terry Rozier, Isaiah Stewart, Caleb Martin, and Michael Porter are sort of their own little tier here on FanDuel. Then we start packing everybody in again. On DK side, We've got this Stewart, Sadiq Bey, Jalen McDaniels, Porter group. Caleb Martin sort of in there too. John Wall, Terry Rozier looking pretty comparable today. Pretty good. Ooh, 420 is... Okay, that's Tuesday. That'll be fun. Oh, by the way, guys, I should be good for the process show. I don't know if there will be a contenders on Monday. We have to shut our power off. We're getting some electrical work done outside of the house. And I don't know if I can make it all work and get the strategy show out. But it should be fine to crank out the process show on Monday. Ooh, Minnesota, next team up. Taking on Miami. I can't imagine we're playing anybody here from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Towns in. Jalen Noel, questionable. Does any of this stuff matter? Probably not. Pay attention for the updates, Dave. Yeah, I don't see a scenario here where we're going to be going to anything from Minnesota against Miami. Russell's minutes just continue to stay pretty down. Towns would be the only legitimate option. Maybe McDaniels, but his minutes are also down as of late. So this should be a quick look. Nobody in the positives on FanDuel in Minnesota. We're not going there. If you want a little bit of Towns on DraftKings, I'd say go ahead. That's not going to be your best spot. New Orleans Pelicans. On the road against the Wizards. Zion against the Wiz. Here we go. Lonzo probable. So let's start this team from scratch because this one's going to matter. Getting the New Orleans Pelicans correct is going to be important here. So we'll start with Steven Adams playing, 28 minutes? And then we'll get Jackson Hayes basically playing the backup run. We're going to have Lonzo in at the point playing 34 minutes probably. Backup run going to Kira Lewis. We're going to give Zion the 36 minutes that he appears to be playing as of late. James Johnson is going to have to play the normal minutes that he's been playing, I guess. Brandon Ingram, just going to get his 36. Who else do we need to give minutes to? Wes Iwundu did not get that same sort of run the last time. They went back to Najee Marshall. Was that a start? 14th. Pelicans. Okay, so Najee Marshall did get the start. I still got to give Bledsoe his minutes, though. So Bledsoe's going to be in for 30. We'll get Najee Marshall 20. Rates should be fine. Jim, have a good one, man. Shakeem, good morning. Hey, Nightbot just dropped the link, by the way. Use the promo code UFC261. Get a free, or get a first month half off of Awesemo Plus MMA. We've got Usman Masvidal coming up, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. All right, what are we doing with Zion here? Yeah, we're playing him, that's for sure. Zion Williamson, 10K on both sites. Definitely the best option here. Love him. He's been at 1.46 fantasy points per minute as of late. I've got him at 1.43, so I don't even think that that's a crazy projection. Zion, clearly the top option coming from New Orleans. There's some value in the other spots, but nobody that I need to really highlight. I do want to just show his relative stature on this list. So you'll see Zion is 7th overall on DraftKings. He is firmly in this little pack of guys. Very, very, I like I like Zion more than I like Luka on DK. And I have Zion a fantasy point ahead of Luka relative to salary if we're looking for a GPP play. So, yeah, I like it. Got to go to Zion today against the Wiz. Shaquem, like, what the hell do other people say? I mean, to me, it's cut and dry. All right, New York Knicks. Anything out for the Knicks? Q tag on Nerlens Noel. Now, that is obviously a very important piece of information because if Nerlens Noel is out, then we are going to be looking at, he didn't play the last game. We got, where the hell is he hiding? Yeah, Taj played 35 minutes. I mean, Taj Gibson is going to be a play here if Nerlens Noel is out again. So keep a close eye. I didn't know that they had Norvel Pell now, but that doesn't really matter either. Randall back up into that 38-minute a game range. Yeah, and they're taking on Dallas. Probably don't have anything else that I need to change here. Not much to look at for the Knicks, unfortunately. Randall 9,200, 9,600 is the best option, but you're not really getting anything from New York unless Noel ends up being out. Siakam. Well, it's nice to have you, Siakam. Yeah, nothing for the Knicks, really. No surprises, and I'm not mad about it. All right, we've got 1, 2, 3. We got 7 to go. Oklahoma City. Anybody out for OKC other than like the normal stuff? Dort in. So we're scratching this one and starting from scratch. Is Dort going to shoot 27 million times? Alexi Pogo Stick is out, unfortunately. Shame. All right, so Maladon, 30 minutes. Bingo. Center spot. It's going to be Moses Brown at the top of the spear. Give him 27 minutes. Backup center run is going to go to both Tony Bradley and Isaiah Roby. We're going to give Bradley 13 minutes. Roby gets 8 plus another 18. That lets me give Baisley 30. Backup point guard run is going to go to Ty Jerome, obviously. So 18 minutes there. Kenrich Williams, how much has he been playing as of late? He's like in the 22 range. So let's go 22, 28 to Dort, plus another 2. So we'll do that. B, 24 minutes. That leaves me 20 minutes for Jalen Horde. Works for me. Actually, we'll go 18 to Jalen Horde, 20 to Ty Jerome. And I do want to grab the rates here because I think it's an important exercise to look at Lou Dort. Chase Lou Dort against Detroit. All right, so we're taking off Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Al Horford, Alexei Pogostick, Diallo. That should be good, right? That's everybody that like was functional. In that time, Dort, 32% usage rate in 93 minutes. Clearly, I'm not projecting him for a 32% usage rate, but we do at least need to recognize that Lou Dort is a 1.16 fantasy point per minute guy when SGA, Horford, Pogu, and Diallo are not on the floor. And if I just happen to leave Hamidou Diallo on the floor. I'm guessing that doesn't really change all that much. No, 29% usage rate. I'm gonna give him 24. It's not really gonna be Dort season, but like it's kind of Dort season. Moses Brown, though, I need to lock his usage rate in. He doesn't see the climb as much as everybody else. Maladon does. Baisley, I'm sure, does. Yeah. Roby, I'm sure, does. Yeah. All right, so for OKC, Thunder are on the road against the Pistons and actually underdogs as of right now. But Moses Brown, Isaiah Roby, Teo Maladon, the three guys I have my eye on the most on FanDuel. None of that looks fun. Roby's a bit of a tough sell, but kind of got to do it now that he's back. Dort is available to me on DraftKings at 5,300, but all of the prices for the Thunder are just not nearly as good. I feel I'm starting to get this vibe that I should project Dort even higher from a usage perspective. He's a 1-something fantasy point per minute guy in that time. I've got him right now at 0.86. I can't go. I'm gonna go 25. There we go. That's the best I could do. Not chasing Dort today. Can't do it. Keeping it moving. 6 to go. Orlando Magic, a team that everybody just truly loves. No MCW today. Okay, that's fun. No Otto Porter, Mo Bamba, Q tag. 172 viewers. Love you guys. Keep hitting that thumbs up. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Let's just assume that Mo Bamba plays today. Who the hell knows? No MCW means I think that we see a little bit more time for Cole Anthony. So I'm going to take him up to 28 minutes. Backup point guard for the Magic. If there's no MCW, would be who? Nobody? Is the answer nobody? Jordan Bone, are you healthy? Are you on the team anymore? I don't even think you're on the team anymore. It's Jason Randall. Duh. Obviously. So Jason Randall is going to get that backup run, I'm sure. Let's delete everything else that's here. Wendell Carter Jr. and give him 29 minutes, right? That seem about right. 28 minutes. 29, 19. Boop, boop, boop. Wait, how big is RJ Hampton? RJ Hampton 6'4"? I thought RJ Hampton was the different sized human being in my brain for a while. So obviously RJ Hampton is going to get those minutes. Nate, happy to have you, man. You don't have to Venmo me anything. Just get an Awesemo subscription. All right. I guess Jason Randall's just not going to play. Now, Jason Randall is going to play in this game. He has to. So let's do something like this. RJ Hampton at 26 minutes. Terrence Ross at 30. I'm going to give Randall those 20. We have Bacon, Harris, Gary Harris at 30 minutes. Yeah, this is going to hash itself out pretty easily. James Ennis at 28 minutes. Oh, yeah, maybe Randall's not going to play. Figured that one out pretty quickly. 30 minutes for Chuma Okeke. 20 minutes for Dwayne Bacon. We're good. That's 240. Rates are, I assume, where we need them to be. Does the Awesemo week sub not come with ownership projections? I think it comes with ownership rankings. News God might be able to tell you a little bit more there. Okay, so Terrence Ross is 5,200 on FanDuel. We got to look at Orlando today, unfortunately. Taking on a Toronto team that doesn't have a lot of Toronto players on it. Terrence Ross for 5,200 on FanDuel, I think, is viable. Cole Anthony looks pretty solid for 4,900. Gary Harris is basically the flat min on FanDuel and 3,600 on DK. I think that works. There's a little bit more to Orlando today than you want. We got to keep our eye on it, though, because I think that's a team that can go a couple different directions today. Philly against the Clippers. I don't get the sense that there's going to be a lot in this one. Q tag on Harris, Q tag on Howard, no George Hill. Obviously, the Tobias Harris news will be important. I don't know what they're going to do there, but it will matter. If he's out, obviously, these guys are going to get bumped up quite a bit. I'm going to say Embiid at 34 minutes. Rates should all be the same for Philly. It's going to be hard to project Embiid over Jokic today, but Embiid still looks good. Oh, God. Ben Simmons went down in price. He's 6,900. Oh, I cannot wait to have this conversation. Ben Simmons is 6,900 today, everybody. Sound the alarm. 6,900 for Ben Simmons. I will be rostering Ben Simmons. Just for the record, he's not like a smash play or anything today. The matchup is difficult, but he is very much a core piece of my player pool. Let's add everybody else in here. So Knicks, Oklahoma City, Orlando, Philly. Knicks, Oklahoma City, Orlando, Philly. PLS Cooper, that doesn't seem smart. All right, so I have Ben. Okay, so look, I like Ben Simmons today. He's my 20th ranked player on FanDuel right now. He's a good play. He's not because it's a matchup against the Clippers, he doesn't become like a problematic play. He's a good play. That's a value at 6,900. Portland. Portland Trailblazers, this one should be as normal as it gets. Do we even make any change? Is Zach Collins really 2 games away from coming back? That would be awesome. Oh, man. The Ben Simmons slander is just getting old. We're talking about a high-end all NBA or all defense type player. People are just mad that this dude doesn't shoot more. And the biggest problem with Russell Westbrook is the fact that he continues to shoot threes. All we want Russell Westbrook to do is to stop shooting threes. And all we want Ben Simmons to do is to shoot them for some reason. It's funny how that works. Funny how that works. All right, I think that's probably pretty good here for Portland. I mean, they're not a team that gets a lot of changes. So for the Blazers, Damian Lillard is 8,600? For real? I don't know what to do here. I got to look up these Portland rates quickly. I mean, he's kind of elite, News God. Just depends how we're judging him. There's basketball on both sides of the ball, you know? Take Gary Trent off. Ben Simmons is not Magic Johnson. That's a terrible comp. Magic Johnson wasn't a particularly good defensive player in comparison to Ben Simmons. Magic Johnson was a revolutionary offensive player. Much better than Ben Simmons. All right, Gary Trent off. Do I need to take anybody else off? No. I don't think you can call Ben Simmons a bad shooter. He's just a non-shooter. To me, that's different. He does what he is the embodiment of what you should do if you don't think that you're going to be making that shot. Like, would you rather? I know what people are going to say, but like, I would rather have Ben Simmons not want to shoot a shot that he doesn't want to shoot than have someone like Jimmy Butler or Russell Westbrook shoot a three that's like a 28% shot. I think that he does need to be more aggressive in getting to the rack. I think that that is the actual problem here. But is it better to shoot if it's not a good shot? Because to me, it's not. Like, people clown him for this, but like, we don't. The media never talks about the fact that like Russell Westbrook and Jimmy Butler shouldn't shoot from outside the 3-point line. Crazy. All right. Now that Gary Trent is gone, Dame 29% usage. So I'm going to have to bring that down. Where has Norm Powell been? 19%. Okay. CJ? 27? 26. Okay. I think that's fine. Now let's take a look at it. Okay, so soften the blow on Dame a little bit. Instead of him being a 100 guy today, I got him at 1.2. Portland taking on San Antonio. Dame looks like a solid play. CJ, Dame, Nurk. Those are the three guys you're looking for here. San Antonio Spurs. Let's just hope that no one is the play here. All right. We got to get Murray up to... No, 32 minutes seems full. Let's go 33. We'll take one from Vassell there. 34 for DeRozan? Nah, that's got to be 35. 32 for Derek White? Sure. Yeah, Cracker Jack. Stay hydrated, man. Second one whooped in my butt. So just stay hydrated. All right, Spurs against the same Portland team. Again, you're just rotating through it. Like Keldon Johnson, DeJounte Murray, Derek White, Jakob Poeltl, DeMar DeRozan, they all look really, really similar. DeJounte Murray for 7K on DraftKings, though, would be the best option. There's just not a lot to like from San Antonio ever. We got two teams to go. Let's close this one out. Toronto Raptors. This one's actually a problem, so this one matters. No Kyle Lowry. Fred VanVleet, though, back. Gary Trent, doubtful. No Anunoby, no Siakam, no Bembry, no Jalen Harris. So, VanVleet in. We saw Chris Boucher start alongside Kem Birch last time out. I assume they're going to do the same thing now that there's no Siakam. So Chris Boucher, 30 minutes. Actually, we'll do Kem Birch, 28 minutes. Chris Boucher, 30 minutes. Malachi Flynn is probably going to play another 34 minutes. So let's do something like that. God, no OG Anunoby either. Whew, this team, man. All right, Stanley Johnson. Who's next up for like legitimate run? I think that's the real question. And how big is Freddie Gillespie? He's like a 4, right? Small forward. Okay. I mean, even in these limited runs, Rodney Hood's not getting all that many minutes, so I don't want to go too crazy there. So I'm going to give Rodney Hood 20 minutes. I'm going to give Paul Watson 20 minutes. I think we give Stanley Johnson 24. I think Yuta Watanabe is going to have to play pretty big minutes. Freddie Gillespie is probably going to have to play pretty big minutes. Maybe Baines sees 4 more. Who knows? What in the world is Fred VanVleet's usage rate going to be here? He might not. There might not even be a sample for this. This is brutal. All right, so if I just take off Lowry, Siakam, and Powell, what happened? How many minutes has Fred VanVleet played without those 3 guys? 113, 37% usage rate. I'm going to take him to 32 and 9. Anybody else get big usage bumps there? There's no Gary Trent, so no. Boucher, I guess, is going to get a bit of a bump. He's already there. Stanley Johnson just stays at 13. Malachi Flynn do anything extra? Yeah, so he goes to 22. He's already there. Let's see what we got here. Toronto. Oh boy. Okay. Is that too much, Fred VanVleet? Shaquem, tell the boss to get me more coffee. I have about a third of a cup left here, and I still have another half pot downstairs. I mean, I don't really know if I'm projecting Fred VanVleet incorrectly here. I mean, I guess I can nerf his rebounding rate. Just assume that that's not going to be part of his style today. Malachi Flynn and Fred VanVleet are problems. I mean, I feel like 34 minutes is nerfing VanVleet. I'll take it to 32 just to be a little bit more pessimistic. But even for Flynn, like 21% usage, I don't think that's crazy. 0.9 fantasy points in this scenario. I have him at 0.99. I mean, maybe I don't see a way around it here. I mean, VanVleet, Flynn, Boucher, Birch. Yuta Watanabe is the flat minimum on DK. That's nuts. I mean, this is wild. Portland, San Antonio, Toronto. We'll be running the crunch in a second, but good God. So Malachi Flynn passes Jokic on DraftKings. They are very similar plays. 2 cash, to me, close to cash locks today. Boucher, Flynn, quite highly ranked here. It's a lot of Toronto against Orlando. No choices in the matter. Final team, Washington Wizards. This one should be pretty meaningless. Unless somebody's out. No one is out. We know who gets these minutes. I don't know if they can give Rodney Hood a ton of minutes. I don't know if he's got that left in his body any longer. Yeah, I think this is all fine. Beal 36, Russ 36, Denny 28. I'm fine with Rui 32. He's the only guy I need to give more time to. Neto losing run. Garrison Matthews losing run. Where are we on the Wiz? Beal 8,400 on FanDuel. We're still going down that road. Russ is 11.3 and 11K. Still going down that road. Rui 4,900 on FanDuel. I like. There we go. So, guys, we did it. We made it through a 10-game slate. in an hour and 20 minutes too, which isn't that bad. Well, I always get off to a slow start on days like today because my brain doesn't work. I don't think we were done our second team until like 6:50 anyway. So let's run some crunches. What do you say, everybody? Hit that like button. 190 plus people in here right now on the final day of the work week. It's exciting. Let's hit that like button. Let's have some fun. Let's run some crunches and find out what the optimal lineup is on FanDuel and on DraftKings. Alrighty, first one up, FanDuel Optimal. Terry Rozier, Malachi Flynn, Terrence Ross, Yuta Watanabe, Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin, Zion, Isaiah Stewart, Nikola Jokic. Not a lot of surprises there. Flat min, Caleb Martin, flat min, Yuta Watanabe, no surprise for value. Obviously, we get like that. That makes perfect sense. You can give back 0.2 of a point if you would like. Swap Terry Rozier for Cole Anthony. Swap Yuta Watanabe for Fred VanVleet. Jimmy Butler out. Michael Porter Jr. in. I like it. I like it. It's Isaiah Stewart season. All right. Power rankings on FanDuel. This could go many directions. A lot of gross names and a lot of big names. It'll be fun to break this down with Laffy in a bit. Ooh. All right, everybody that's in chat, who all's getting the Ben Askren Jake Paul fight, other than me? Going to be fun to watch. All right, power rankings on FanDuel. Almost stabilized. We're super close. Top tier, pretty easily, Fred VanVleet, Isaiah Stewart, and Caleb Martin. We take a step down, Jimmy Butler, Bradley Beal. And then it's Zion, Jokic, Porter Jr., Terrence Ross, Malachi Flynn, Luka, Brandon Ingram, Terry Rozier, John Wall. Yeah, I'm really excited for the fight. Should be a good time. There are our power rankings for FanDuel. Let's move it on to DraftKings, and then let's pack it in for the week, guys, because that's going to do it. Do I do these shows with no pants on? No, I got Jordan shorts on. Got some shorts on. I'm pretty much constantly in Jordan shorts. All right, DraftKings. Here we go. DK Optimal. Bing, bang, boom. Saban Lee, Caleb Martin, Sadiq Bey, Yuta Watanabe, Isaiah Stewart, Russell Westbrook, Jimmy Butler, and Nikola Jokic. Yucky, yucky, yucky. You can give up 0.3 of a point and drop down to either one of the two lineups that are next on the screen. Yeah, it falls a little bit further for the fourth. You should be getting the play more, play less plays today. I am not live tonight, so I should have plenty of time to get that out at some point in time. And I am playing the slate. I didn't play the last two slates, so that was when I'm not around to play the slate. I'm certainly not prepping it at 6 o'clock at night. Crappy the craps, man. I'm glad you enjoy this. That is a gross lineup, but clearly not a problem. So much salary here. No salary here. Stars and scrubs till I die. Power rankings for DK, and then we's done. Shaquem, that's awesome. Shaq him. Ah, my bad. I gotta get it wrong now every time. Yeah, so Caleb Martin is pretty clearly going to be the number one contender. At least it's looking like that on both sites. Because Caleb Martin's up at the top. We got Yuta Watanabe at the top. We've got Jalen McDaniels near the top. Isaiah Stewart, definitely the best Piston. Sadiq Bey feels good. I'm guessing Saban Lee gets rotated down a little bit, but I just don't know what to do with those minutes. And with Saban Lee's price tag at 3,100, if he is the backup point guard, he's just going to look like a point per dollar option. More of a cash play than a GPP play, I think. But we also have, so running down the list, Caleb Martin, Watanabe, Stewart, Lee, Bey, Jalen McDaniels, Nikola Jokic, Cole Anthony, Michael Porter Jr., Luka Doncic, Fred VanVleet, Bradley Beal, Russell Westbrook, Chris Boucher. Does anybody pass Boucher? Malachi Flynn snuck in there for a second. And that, my friends, is it. That is the end of this work week. We done. 10 games up, 10 games down. We have made our way through it once again. All thanks to you guys. You guys are the driving force on this bad boy. If it wasn't for you guys, I would never get through this quickly. I would also still probably still be in bed for a little bit. We're gonna have a pretty fun slate here. Again, I'm on contender, or we'll have contenders out shortly after this. Strategy show with Lofty and I. So come for that one. That'll be a pretty good one. We're probably going long. We're probably looking at like 90 minutes. But no lie before lock to me. When I'm done the strategy show, that's it for me till Sunday morning with Rinpack. So I hope everybody has a really good weekend. Enjoy the fight if you are getting it, but have some fun. I'll have some updates out on Twitter later tonight. Good luck. Please enjoy your weekend. Have a good time. Please hit the like button on your way out the door. That helps me out a ton. And at least for the process show, by the way, that's an excellent rise and grind today. At least for the process show. I'll see you guys on Monday. Good luck tonight.